Henshin Inspection presents Going Ultra! This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. Welcome to Going Ultra. Visit mjmunoz.com/GU for notes and links. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment to help me grow. Ultraman Z Episode 6 is pretty cool. It's kind of funny because it's throwing me into ongoing stories and plot lines from other stuff, and it didn't bother me at all. It was done very naturally. It flowed very well, and I didn't have any issue with it. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I have some spectacle and action stuff to talk about later, but first I want to give my overall impressions of the episode and then talk about some more specifics. So my overall impressions of the episode were that it was really fantastic. I think this might be my favorite episode so far. Seeing Juggler in the last episode and the way he mixed things up was interesting, but things got even more more mixed up and more dynamic in this episode with the arrival of Ultraman Geed, or Geed, I can't remember how they say it, and then as well that Destructo AI, like the Judgmenter. It has a different name, but it's called, such and such the Judgmenter. And I just thought that was a really cool name, especially for such a neat, concept sci-fi villain. Which, I mean, the AI that wants to destroy all sentient life, that's nothing new, really. It's just, I like this iteration of it, and I like this iteration of it. So it was a lot of fun. And I liked that there was like a moral clarity about it. Like, yeah, this thing's evil because it's trying to destroy all sentient life. So we're just gonna, destroy it and counteract it. So that was cool. I also liked that that Sevenger, that Storage is trying to improve the performance of the pilots by having Sevenger and Wyndham fight each other. Of course, that's Hikari and Yoko. And I thought that was pretty fun. So those are my general impressions. It was a lot of fun, very exciting, excellent fights. That's kind of all I have to say. And also they did a good job of bringing me in to this, story, this ongoing story, and getting me to swallow basically the hook or the bait and accept the fact that we've got these other characters who have this long ongoing story that I can roll with. So that was nice work there. I guess the deeper story implications would be like, what is Hibikuri doing? He talks to Riku, who's the host, I guess, of Ultraman Geed, or Geed. I'm going to say Geed. Geed feels better. Anyway. And Geed asks him, what are you doing here? And he seems to be okay with him. He doesn't treat him like he's a villain. He's not scared of him. But he seems to... Juggler, or Hibikura, is acting like a bit of a scamp. The way he comes into the scene and swipes his Z-Riser from him and stuff. The way he's acting, it feels a little off, very familiar, but also a little, like quasi-villainous. And then the fact that he says to him, like, if I told you I was here helping Earth because I really want to protect peace, would you believe me? And I thought that was fun. And I like how it casts him in even more of a gray position as a character. Because I thought, oh, he's a secret villain, and he's got some sort of overarching villainous plot, and it's going to be crazy to see how that unfurls, and I'm excited to see all that stuff. And then now after this, he's even more gray, because it's like, well, maybe he's not just a bad guy who's trying to be a good guy or pretending to be a good guy. Maybe he was a bad guy and he's been kind of reformed through his interactions with the Ultraman, probably, because I bet an Ultraman could do that for you. Yeah, I liked that. I liked how it complicated things a little bit. I liked that they got into deeper implications of, like, where is Zero, and what is a Devil Splinter. And I thought it was interesting that Riku pointed out and got the point to the audience that Zet, or Z, and Haruki haven't really talked very much, and Haruki doesn't know what a Devil Splinter is, or what it's doing, or what the problem is with them. He just knows that they're a bad thing that he wants to help Z split up, or clean up. So that's kind of interesting that Haruki would be so willing to just throw himself in. But then again, if you think back to the context of Haruki as a character, what he did, I just got a great idea. Sorry, what he did to, as he and Z were both about to die, he's like, hey, let's combine our life forces so we can live. That makes sense. He threw in to help with them because it was, the right thing to do. It was a heroic act, and it saved his own life too, which I'm sure is helpful. But kind of beyond that, he works for Storage. He works for this group who's trying to defend the world from, alien invasions and attacks and things like that. And that's, it goes to his character. So I guess in an interesting kind of backdoor kind of way, it's showing Haruki's character, not telling us what his character is, to know that he's going into this fight that's really from a world that he doesn't know, and it's all bigger than he understands, but he's just rolling along with it and doing it. So that's pretty cool. There was an interesting, I guess it's Riku's stop sign, his catchphrase, which is something like, sitting around doing nothing isn't going to get us anywhere, which I believe, that's true. That is a true statement. Truer statements have been spoken, but that is a very true statement. And honestly, if a lot of people incorporated that into their lives, I'm sure they'd be much happier, because they'd live much more productive lives where they're at least working towards their goals, their dreams, whatever, as opposed to being upset about, being upset and getting distracted by, their failures. Being paralyzed by the fact that there are so many options or so many things to do, or the task is so difficult, is not good. What is it? The longest journey begins with a single step, or whatever that saying is. But yeah, I like that. That's Haruki's, Riku's thing rather. The only thing I didn't like was that I think he said it like 3 or 4 times, but I still agreed with it. It was good stuff. But like, I don't know if that's just his catchphrase being brought into the show, and if it's supposed to have any special meaning behind it, any significance to any of the characters, because I'm trying to think about how that could have applied to the characters. I guess they didn't really know what to do to stop Visalia. No. Vardigara. I don't know. Whatever the Destructo robot's name, the Judgmenter's name. In order to stop him, they had to do something. And, his core was going to go and regenerate. And the longer they hesitate, the more time there would be for it to grow back and develop. But they ended up trying to lure it out. Yuka had this idea to, since the thing was searching the internet, which is a really funny detail, to lure it to a place where it was going for these supplies to repair itself, and then there they would attack it and defeat it and destroy it, and then they would solve the problem, right? And doing that is better than doing nothing, of course. And like I said, the longer they waited, the more chance it would have had to recover and recuperate, and then it would have been more difficult for them to fight. It did recover, and they ended up having to fight it anyway, and then Geed and Z together were able to destroy it, but with a little help from Yoko, which was pretty cool to see. I think Yoko's the pilot, Yuka's the tech lady. Anyway, so it was really cool to see like a Independence Day homage, sort of, where like a cross between Independence Day and Digimon. What is it? Touchdown, whatever the original Digimon movie that was dubbed into English was called, or it's a composite of like 3 or 4 movies, but the one where they fight Diaboromon, they send it all the information, all the data, all the emails in order to slow it down, and they kind of did the same thing, because Yuka was working on this thing early in the episode, this Millennium Prize puzzle thing. Anyway, but because she was working on that, she was able to forward the information to that. It slowed it down. Yoko delivered it through a punch, which was really cool, but it also didn't make sense, but I just bought it because it was such a cool moment in the show. So anyway, I don't know if the let's not sit around, let's act, and act incrementally even, I don't know that really impacted her in that way, and I don't know that it impacted Z and Haruki, because they were going to fight against this Destructoid anyway, this Judgmenter anyway, so I don't really know how to read that. I kind of don't think it was significant to the plot. I don't know, maybe it has more to do with, by the way, I'm sort of remembering, it's like Galavas or Gavalis or something. Anyway, maybe it has more to do with Hebikura, or maybe it has nothing to do with the context of the episode at all. I'm not really sure. I kind of struggled to find like a theme or a meaning or anything like that that was being expressed through this episode. But so there's that. What I did get, though, what was clearly expressed, what clearly came across to me, was the awesome fight. Geed Galaxy Rising is an amazing suit. I cannot believe how good that suit looked. I went wild a little bit when I was watching, when he whipped out his like Guyver elbow blades. That was amazing watching him wreck with that. Also, he uses these wrecking claws, I think, later in the second fight. And then his Wrecking Phoenix attack, which is his like Specium Ray, but he calls it Wrecking Phoenix. Like, that was super dope. Geed looked super cool. The fight was so dynamic, so exciting. His suit is absolutely gorgeous. I showed my kids real quick just the scene of his first fight with the Judgmenter, I'll say. And they were kind of blown away. I try not to be a weeaboo. We like Ghibli movies. We like they know I like a lot of Japanese stuff, but I try not to tell them Japan has the best movie or anything like that. But one of my eldest actually said, wow, did they just make everything super, super cool in Japan? And I said, I don't know. And it was funny. They were making remarks. They were like, oh, they're giant. Oh, they're in a field. That's cool. Or like in the countryside. That's really cool. And then like when Geed did that thing where he got blasted back and kind of like skidded or dragged on the ground past like a mountain range or whatever, they all thought that was really cool. So, and the Wrecking Phoenix, they like that. And I don't know if they've ever seen like two energy beams or power blasts or whatever go against each other and they go back and forth, and then one guy pushes harder and his power goes through and hits the other guy. I don't know if they've seen that before. So when they saw that, they thought that was pretty neat, and so did I. I mean, it was really cool. So, but yeah, it's an amazing suit. There was some other like episode, like lore type things. Learning about the Devil Splinters was cool. Seeing, I don't know, who was that? Was that Taro? That wasn't Taro, was it? Whoever fought Belial. Seeing them fight him was cool in that little scene. Although I found it strange, like the way Belial, or not Belial, but the other one, Taro or whoever it was that defeated him, was dubbed. It was like, it was weird. It wasn't Japanese. Maybe he was using the Ultra language when he was talking to Belial, I assume. I don't know. But the little Devil Splinters, they showed them coming off when he did his ray attack. And it's funny, they look like his eye, and I think that's a really cool detail. Because those eyes they're pretty evil looking, and they're pretty distinct looking as well. So them to look like his eye, that's a good move. So I mean, just the I don't have much else to say. Just some of the angles that they used, looking at Geed through like the temporary tent or whatever they were in, where they had their little base camp set up where they could watch and monitor the fight and everything. That was really cool. I love how much more it amps up the scale and makes the Ultras look gigantic. It was just a really cool shot. So I don't really have much else to say. It was a lot of fun. This one mostly got me on just looking so good and on being such a fun episode, such a fun story. And I don't know that there was too much more like lore nuggets or like any like Henshin inspection specific stuff that I can bring up that like, oh yeah, this means about like the true nature of being a hero or whatever. The only thing that I thought was interesting was that it's just fun to see the journey of another Ultra, and it'll be nice to see if we get more input from Riku and his character, and kind of see what makes Geed Geed. I guess that's what I'm looking forward to. One other thing, the Scavenger. I like how he's trying different things, and he's trying to experiment and figure out what exactly makes all this technology tick and how he can use the Devil Splinters or not. And I like the fact that he's got like putties now. What's up with that? That was kind of strange, but it'll be interesting to see what these troopers do. And like he shot him out of a gun. Like what's up with that? It opened another dimensional port. I don't know what any of this is going on, but it's intriguing and interesting because, well, I don't know what's going on, and I'm looking forward to learning. I'm just getting ready to publish, and I decided as I was listening back that I should add something in here, which is a couple things. One, after you hear this episode, I will have had time to post some short video to MeWe. I did like a highlights from episode 5 of Ultraman Z, and I don't know if I'm going to do highlights or if I'm going to do some sort of commentary from it. I'm going to try to do highlights or like a GIF from every episode, but I also have some other stuff I want to do, like I have some commentary on the whole juggler thing and how that was seeded early on in the show, and how like the cinematography kind of hints to it, and just how it's all very cleverly done, and things like that. So I'm going to add extra stuff like that over on MeWe. I don't know that it'll be MeWe exclusive. Maybe I'll make it like exclusive to MeWe as I'm first releasing episodes. Then sometime later I'll go back and embed those sorts of things in the website at mjmunoz.com/gu, or in the actual like episode post of the episode related to when it was released. So it'll be in the show notes area, same as the picture or the collage that I do and the other stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all of that for now. I think that's all I wanted to say. And yeah, I'll let other me do the outro now. So buckle in, folks. Buckle in. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to ask that you go over to mgmunoz.com, check out all my work over there. I am very much feeling like for Tokutember, I want to try really hard to get set up with having a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo for a Tokusatsu inspired comic or graphic novel. I don't know, I might just I want to do like a Toku bedtime story with like kaiju and an ultra type thing in it. So we'll see what happens. If you want to encourage me to do that, go ahead. Hopefully I'll write something about that in the next couple weeks. So if you're coming back for more of my coverage of Ultraman Z, you'll get to check that out. I'll link it in the show notes. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with peace and blessings, and I hope that you're well, and I want to remind you that you don't have to shout Henshin to be a hero.